When we talk about early Australian decimal coins, the 1969 50-cent piece stands as one of the most fascinating examples of national design, monetary evolution, and craftsmanship. After Australia transitioned from the old pound system to the decimal currency in 1966, the Royal Australian Mint faced a challenge of creating a series of coins that would not only be practical, but also represent the country's growing identity. The first 50-cent coin in 1966 was made of 80% silver, but as silver prices rose dramatically, it soon became too expensive to continue production. By 1969, the Mint introduced a brand new version of the coin made of copper nickel, the one you see here. This change wasn't just about economics. It marked a turning point in Australian minting history, where modern material replaced precious metal, and a new standard for future coins was set. The 1969 coin features a 12-sided or dodecagonal shape, instantly recognizable among collectors. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, with the simple inscription Elizabeth II, Australia 1969. The design was graceful, minimal, and symbolic. It connected the country's history under the British monarchy, while also representing a modern, independent Australia. On the reverse side lies the Australian coat of arms, proudly displaying a kangaroo and the emu, standing beside a shield that features the symbols of Australia's 6 states. This combination of national icons made the coin not just a currency, but a work of art that reflected the unity and progress of the nation. For collectors, the 1969 50-cent coin is a bridge between the past and the future of Australian coinage. Millions were minted for everyday circulation, but over time, many have been worn down or lost. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition today is increasingly difficult, and that's where its real value lies. A typical circulated 1969 coin might only be worth around face value, but coins in mint state condition, or those featuring rare minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double letters, or die cracks, can sell for much higher prices, ranging from a few dollars to even hundreds in some rare cases. What makes the 1969 issue so meaningful isn't just its metal or mintage, it's the story it tells. It captures the early years of Australia's modern identity, when the country was redefining its place in the global economy and proudly introducing its own symbols on everyday currency. Holding one of these coins feels like holding a small but powerful piece of that transformation. It represents resilience, innovation, and history pressed into metal. Whether you're a new collector or a lifelong numismatist, the 1969 Australian 50-cent coin remains a must-have in any serious collection, not only for its beauty, but for the history it silently carries from a pivotal era in Australian monetary development. Just 2 years later, in 1971, Australia continued its journey of refining and perfecting its decimal coinage, and the 50-cent coin from that year carries its own story of progress. The 1971 issue retained the same 12-sided shape, size, and copper-nickel composition as the 1969 version, but subtle improvements in minting technology gave it a slightly sharper and more defined appearance. Once again, the obverse featured Queen Elizabeth II's portrait by Arnold Machin, surrounded by the words Elizabeth II, Australia 1971. The reverse displayed the same majestic coat of arms, showcasing the kangaroo and emu standing guard over the shield. These elements remain consistent, helping Australians quickly recognize the coin as a trusted symbol of value. However, the 1971 50-cent coin is not just another piece of pocket change. For many collectors, it represents a period when Australia had fully settled into its decimal system and had developed a steady, reliable minting process. This was a time of confidence. The early experimental phase was over, and the Royal Australian Mint had mastered the new standard. Although millions of these coins were made, most were used heavily in circulation, meaning that today, truly uncirculated 1971 specimens are far less common than one might expect. A coin that has retained its original shine, luster, and sharp-edge details can fetch a respectable price in collector markets. In addition, some 1971 coins are known to have minting varieties or minor flaws, which can add intrigue and value. Die cracks, rim cuts, and double strikes are all possibilities that dedicated numismatists actively search for. These small imperfections transform what was once ordinary currency into a prized collectible. Beyond value, though, the 1971 coin holds sentimental importance. It reflects an era of stability and optimism in Australia, a time when the nation's economy was strong, and its cultural identity was becoming more distinct. Each coin that survives today tells part of that national story, from the pockets of everyday Australians to the albums of passionate coin enthusiasts around the world. When viewed together, the 1969 and 1971 Australian 50-cent coins tell a story of transition, adaptation, and identity. They show how something as small as a coin can reflect the journey of an entire country, its art, politics, and economy. The fine craftsmanship, the timeless design, and the historical weight make these coins a perfect reminder of how deeply money connects to culture. Whether you collect for beauty, history, or investment, these coins continue to shine as a testament to Australia's rich numismatic legacy. So next time you come across a 1969 or 1971 50-cent coin, don't just see it as old change. See it as a small, shining chapter of Australian history.